Welcome to a Friday edition of the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you. And Tyrone Johnson here. As always, day one of the NFL draft is now officially in the books. The Philadelphia Eagles drafted a blind wide receiver that you guys seem very happy about since you're rocking your Eagles gear today. But everybody knows that the New York Jets had, not even debatably, the single best draft on day one of the NFL draft. Get a rock star tight end who's faster than Christian McCaffrey, get the best edge rusher in the sport, and sneak it to the end of the first round, and also get a badass wide receiver in Cooper to play the other side of the field from Garrett Wilson. Case closed. Jets are winning the Super Bowl. Thanks for coming. Have yourselves a great... All right. It would be nice if that were all true, wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
It'd be nice if that were all true. And it is all true.
It's not
Have yourselves a nice weekend. Peace out, everybody.
No. Now, if you look at all the pundits, since we haven't played football, everybody. We haven't played any football yet.
We've not played any football yet. That's why I don't believe, just real quick, I'm not a big draft guy. Everyone knows that. The thing I hate more than the draft are the a-holes who claim they know about every single player.
Which is impossible.
And the thing I hate more than those guys are the jackasses that think that we are so elementary and rudimentary in our fandom that we need random people across the country to tell us what grade our team gets for the drafts they made.
Right.
I can't stand the grading system like, the Raiders got an A+. Well, for what?
Well, you don't know yet. Right.
We have no idea if Mendoza's going to be a good quarterback.
Right.
We knew they were going to take. Then I saw, I think the Jets got like a B+, A-, whatever it is. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what grade the Eagles got.
Most people gave it a really good grade.
All right, good.
He's a good football player.
Right.
He's a good what I can say,
by the way,
he was a really good college football player. I feel comfortable saying that. If you're
for sure top 10, I would extend that probably to top 20. If you don't get a good football player in the first 20 picks of the NFL draft, you shouldn't be drafting.
Well, drafting.
So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not a grade guy. I can't stand the grades. I'll give you another example why, real quick. So Arvell Reese, one of the top guys in this draft, defensive star, okay? So Arvell Reese, I was doing some reading on him because I was running, is he going to fall? Is he going to keep falling? Where's he going to go? Who's going to get him, right? And I think he's obviously one of the top defensive players out of Ohio State,
he's going 5th overall, right?
Right. So the New York Giants get Arvell Reese, as you just said, 5th overall. I read something interesting about Arvell Reese, all right? Who's obviously a great football player and seeming like a really nice, likable kid too.
By all measures, yeah.
So all good. I don't mean to take a shot at him because, again, seems like a great kid. Loved his interview.
Me too.
And obviously great football player, okay? But I am going to take a shot at Ohio State, if I may.
How?
Because I'm trying to figure something out, and I couldn't sleep last night. I was also drinking and eating edibles all night, and I take ownership of that. I do. I'm hungover. I am. I didn't get much sleep. I forgot to reset my alarm. I stayed in New York City last night, so instead of I usually get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm on the road at 6:30. Yeah. I went to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I forgot to change the alarm.
So the alarm went off at 6?
And I have 5 alarms in case I oversleep one, right?
Oh, see.
So 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:10, 6:15. I'm like, boom, boom. Then I'm like, bang, back up again. Then bang, back up again. So I might even be moody today. I don't know. But I got to take a shot at Ohio State.
Okay.
If I may.
All right.
Talking about grades, okay?
Yeah.
So the newest member of the New York Giants defense, Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese somehow, some way, got through high school with a 0.4 GPA.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. I'm not taking a shot at the kid. I don't know what that school was like where he went to high school, okay?
It was a rough area.
By the way, I can appreciate that, okay? I don't think you have to judge kids and whether or not they're good people or smart people based on a GPA. I want to be fair about that also, right? But I do have a question for the folks at Ohio State.
Yeah.
What I'd like to know is how does a kid that had a 0.4 GPA in high school leave Ohio State with a 3.7 GPA?
Yeah.
I'd like to figure that out. Look, I'm no genius.
I'll tell you how.
I graduated college with a 3.4. I went to Syracuse, and I'm no genius. How did Arvell Reese go from a 0.4 to a 3.7 at Ohio State?
Tell you why. Have you seen him play football? He's incredible. Okay,
that's the answer.
He was able to play D-back, regular linebacker, and edge rusher all in the same game.
Yeah,
that'll get you a 3.7 anywhere in the country. That's how he got it.
All right, so I just want to make sure.
Because he was awesome. That's how. Because he was awesome.
As long as we're on the same page.
Yeah.
And again, seems like a great kid.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick for the New York Giants.
Yeah, I do too. And I watched him a lot. Forget the projection.
Yeah.
If you watched Ohio State, you saw him a lot. A lot. He was making plays all over the field.
Anyhow, I interrupted you. I apologize.
It's all good.
You're very happy that the Eagles got a wide receiver because A.J. Brown is apparently going to New England after June 1st.
And beyond that, the way the Eagles have worked their draft is they really do believe in best player. They don't draft for the now. I know for a fact, because I talked to some people with the Eagles, they had him pretty high as a pick. And most mock drafts did not have him fall in the 20.
You're talking about the wide receiver.
The wide receiver.
Yeah.
I like the process. When I look at the draft, really, it's really to me not really about, because I don't know whether or not the player's going to be good or not. For me, it's about what was the process when you make that pick. Like, I don't love a rebuilding team taking a running back at 3. I love the running back.
Cardinals did that.
Love him. I think he's arguably the best player. Maybe I think Downs was the best player. I think he's the second best player in this draft. Love is.
Okay.
But it doesn't make sense to me, the process of drafting a running back third overall.
Downs, the safety, went to Dallas.
Dallas.
They moved
and I hate to admit it, he went to Dallas.
Yeah.
I think he was the best player in the draft. Safety's not the most important position, but I have no issues with the pick. Taking Love at 3 to me has nothing to do with him. I think he's great.
Yeah, me too.
But when your team stinks, we've seen it with Saquon. We've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah, running back can't save you all the time. Offensive line can save you.
Exactly.
Edge rushers can save you.
Great stud quarterback can save you. That kind of thing. So it's about the process. And what I liked about the Jets is the process of the picks. It appears it made sense.
I thought the Jets had a good draft. I'm not telling you the Jets are going to win 8 games this year.
We'll find out.
But it's like, to me, the New York Jets, I thought, did well.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't know the tight end all that well.
He made a lot of plays at Oregon.
The dude ran a 4.38
and was productive on the field as well.
He's a player, right? Cooper's a player.
Made a lot of plays on a good team.
So I look again. I don't know how it's going to work out. Like, Garrett Wilson is a great wide receiver, and Garrett Wilson hasn't had a winning season since he joined the Jets.
Exactly.
Right? So David Bailey was the best edge rusher out there.
Yep.
Obviously, he makes that defensive line a lot better. And again, I don't care about grades. I don't like when people give out grades. I look at guys and say, hey, have I seen them play?
Right.
Hey, are they good players? Are they decent guys? And I think across the board, the answer is yes. I did find it interesting. The pick that you guys made, Lemon, who's obviously a rock star wide receiver.
He made a bunch of plays at USC, played his butt off. Yeah.
He's a crazy talented kid.
Yeah.
And I imagine he'll work great on the other side of Devontae Smith. I'm good with it. The Eagles need weapons. Obviously, A.J. Brown's going to New England after June 1st. And you have an embattled quarterback that needs a dude to throw the football to outside of Devontae, right? But he's one of those kids where he doesn't do himself any favors.
Right.
Based on how he presents himself, pre-draft interviews, post-draft interview last night. And he's the kind of kid where I think if you're a diehard Eagle fan, it's almost like when they drafted Deshaun Jackson, right? Great player, doesn't do himself a lot of favors when he starts talking, but a great player.
Right, and he grew up, but it took a while. It took him a while
for him to
grow
grow
up.
Bad background and gangs and all this stuff out in California, whatever. So I think Lemon's more that kind of kid where he might be great, but I think you're going to have some heartaches with him along the way off the field.
Although,
and I'm not saying like he's a bad kid going to get in trouble. I'm saying like if that kid doesn't get the rock, that's the kid that's going to say something. We'll get more into that coming up in just a second. Look, this weekend, stop eating like a pig, all right? Oh, you can't control yourself. Heard it many times before. That's why my friends at Brickhouse Nutrition invented lean weight loss for people like you that cannot help themselves. This will start you down the road of not pigging out every single weekend. That's right. No intense side effects like those painful shots. And this product right here, Lean, curbs your appetite, takes fat, converts it into energy, and you're not going to go through the entire weekend going, oh, I got to get back to the refrigerator. So right now, if you go to takelean.com, enter my last name, Carton, as a promo code, you get 20% off this product right here that's going to change your life. Takelean.com, promo code Carton, 20% off, and free rush shipping. Takelean.com. to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. More NFL coming up. I got to get into some of the hoops real quick. Obviously, a tough night for my Knickerbockers last night as we lose another one-point game. First team in NBA history to lose back-to-back playoff games in regulation by a single point. That's what the Knicks did last night. I know everyone's going batshit crazy right now about Jalen Brunson. About, you can't trust Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's second last possession now throws up an air ball as the shot clock's expiring. Oh, no, you can't trust Jalen Brunson. And then, of course, on the last possession of the game, which is mind-bogglingly bad, 12 seconds left, you got the rock, you could do anything you want. And Jalen Brunson again tries hero ball, gets caught low post, throws a panicked pass out to Josh Hart. Bad pass. He can't pick it up. Clock expires. And the New York Knicks do not even get a shot off with an opportunity to win the game there. Jalen Brunson's not the reason the New York Knicks lost last night's game. And I want to be very clear. Jalen Brunson came up small in crunch time last night. Still had, 26 points? But there's one guy you can blame for the New York Knicks losing Game 3 last night to the Atlanta Hawks, and it's Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, rightfully so, got benched last night. Why? Because in the last 6 quarters, that meaning the entire game last night and the second half of Game 2 at Madison Square Garden, Mikal Bridges has a grand total of 0 points. 0 points. Mikal Bridges. All right, 6 quarters, 0 for 7 from the field, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 4 turnovers. He has more turnovers in the last 6 quarters than he has points, rebounds, and assists combined. So yell and scream all you want about Jalen Brunson, and I'm with you to a point. Hero ball, isolation, dribble, 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 dribble. But he is not the cause or reason for the Knicks trailing the entire game last night. Then they got a lead late, and they blew that lead because somehow, some way, the New York Knicks have turned C.J. McCollum into Dwayne Wade. I don't understand it. I couldn't have predicted it, but this is not entirely a Jalen Brunson problem.
Yeah, but I think you're letting him off the hook because he's a star player.
Yes, he
but
is.
You're not holding him to a star player accountability for this reason. This is what I mean. Everything you said was factual.
Correct.
About Bridges. He's a complimentary player and
gave up 5 first-round draft picks together.
Yes, he's a and to do that for a complimentary player was never smart.
Yeah.
But McBride,
0 points.
But McBride yesterday, in the whole factor of the game, did everything you want him to do. You still got enough production.
McBride made clutch shots.
Right. You got enough production total. What you needed last night was for your star player to get you over the hump. And my issue with Brunson, it has always been. Remember, Villanova kid, I know a lot of people are close to him, like, for real. I'm not joking about that. My issue with him is he's, in a way, when it comes to being a star, he's like a quad A guy. He's not a complimentary player. In fact, he's useless in that role because he doesn't do much without the ball. But if he's going to have the ball every possession, I can't have Craig Carton. I cannot have Knicks fans coming on today not blaming him when he touches it every possession. 4 assists, 3 turnovers, he touches it every possession.
I agree. He takes blame for sure.
He has to take the most.
But he's not the number one reason.
He is.
That if you want to make that argument,
when they win.
If you want to make that argument for Game 2, I accept that's a better argument for Game 2. Not last night. Because last night, you can't get a donut out of Mikal Bridges and look, the Knicks were up 9-6, didn't lead again until about, a minute or so left when they took that 3-point lead, right?
Right.
They take the 3-point lead, they let a second chance hoop go in, and then C.J. McCollum beats OG off the dribble. OG kind of got there late, was off a switch, and gets his hand up a little bit late, and give McCollum credit. The guy's got ice water in his veins now, and he's the best clutch player in basketball today.
At this moment.
Obviously not in the course
he's getting whatever shots he wants late in game.
And by the way, he shot like crap last night for the majority of the game.
But late in the game.
But in crunch time, McCollum was money. And I'm watching the game last night. I keep saying to myself, when did we turn 35-year-old C.J. McCollum into the second coming of Dwayne Wade? Like, I don't understand how that happens. Because the Knicks can't buy a big bucket. McBride had a couple, yes, of course. They did come all the way back from down 18. They did take a lead by 3 with under a minute to go. But you're telling me that we don't have an answer for CJ effing McCollum? And all due respect to CJ McCollum, has resurrected his career in this series 3 games in. But I will tell you this. The New York Knicks are still the better team. And I still believe, although not as much, that the New York Knicks will win Game 4 Saturday night.
I agree with that.
And will come back home, win Game 5 at the Garden, all right? Take a 3-2 series lead, and then you roll the dice, all right?
No,
This team cannot lose in the first round of the playoffs to Quinn Snyder and the Atlanta freaking Hawks.
I'll go with you there.
And Quinn Snyder, if you want to beat Matthew McConaughey, just call him up and tell him.
Now you hating on him?
Yeah.
He's slicking back his hair. He does his hair the same way. He makes it all sloppy with the product and stuff. But I can't.
If Quinn Snyder says after Game 4, all right, someone's getting punched in the mouth.
Oh, that's fine. But I still, there's the other thing that bothers me about the Brunson thing.
Yeah.
Your best 5 last night were basically you swap out Bridges and you put in
Cat had a good game.
Yeah, Cat had a good game.
He had like 17 rebounds.
But also, Mitchell Robinson has become completely unplayable, and I also blame Brunson for that.
That's Mike Brown.
He doesn't touch the ball, though.
Here's the problem.
Brunson.
So here's the problem.
That's Brunson.
Mike Brown doesn't think, and I can't say he's right or wrong because we haven't seen it, that Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns cannot be in the court at the same time.
Probably not against this matchup, but it is a tough matchup for both.
Because we went cat heavy, which I thought we should have, I totally agreed with that. And I thought Karl Anthony Towns answered the bell last night. What do you have, 21 and 17, I think?
22 and
last
17.
Night?
Yep, 22 and 17.
Karl
But late in the
Anthony
game, he didn't touch the ball.
Right. And that's been a problem in this series.
Bridges.
But Mitchell Robinson played 11
Brunson.
total minutes in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm not blaming Mitchell Robinson. I'm blaming the fact that for whatever reason, Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns cannot be on the court at the same time. So by default, if you go cat heavy, you're going light on Mitchell Robinson. Now, I would put them both on the court at the same time.
And roll the dice.
I don't care about offensive Mitchell Robinson. I don't. But I want that rim protector in there because while Karl Anthony Towns had a great game on the boards last night, I'd like to have the other side of the court covered.
Yeah, he doesn't give you much on the other end.
Right. Now, I thought McBride did a great job.
He did on the defense.
I have no issue with McBride. OG had a good game last night as well.
He's the main reason he came back.
Yeah.
Was OG. OG played very well.
It's very frustrating right now because I know we're the better team. But now you've got a season game, season on the line, Saturday night, 6 o'clock in Atlanta, and there's blood in the water. Yikes.
Can't alienate your fan base. That's the problem. You know, you got to show your fan base that you're still trying to win, and you want to sell tickets in the summertime. You don't want to go into mid-May and say, all right, we're 15 games out, but it's still only early May. No, fans will stay away. So you don't have the luxury anymore of just waiting. So someone's got to get fired. One of these teams is going to fire someone by the end of the month.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Let me understand this, Joe. Are we going to have any broadcast games on TV anymore? It's all streaming?
You got to pay to watch here, folks. That's just the way it's going to be, one way or the other. And I'm sure this will satisfy, the FCC looking into the coercion that's going on here with the NBA NFL broadcast rights? Yeah, this is all par for the course, I think.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Call it what it is, Donnie. Did Houston just completely misfire here? Like, did they not do enough research, background, find out more about the guy for him to say this just a few weeks into the season? And then you start wondering, Donnie, is it really dead arm? Like, is there anything going on here? Like, oof, I don't know. Just an awful look for Houston at the start of the season, and they can't win a game to save their lives here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
It's a 7-game sprint with a whole lot of volatility, right? You don't want the best team, so to speak, Donnie. You want the team that has a favorable group stage, weaker knockout path, and has some penalty variance coming their way here. Because this is all about the path to the final, Donnie. It's not about the best team because the best team can get knocked out.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. Of course, last night, about a half hour before the draft started, Mike Vrabel had another weird press conference, which he said absolutely nothing of note or of interest. And I think about my limit now talking about it until something else happens. Of course, we now know that they had a 6-year-long relationship, and she is now taking away her Twitter account because she's getting trolled and run through every single day. But there is one aspect to the story. And I think it's the final aspect for me that we can move on. I hopefully, knock on wood, for good. That I think if I can quote the Chappelle Show one more time here, cold-blooded, if I may, okay?
Yeah.
This should be a rule of thumb. This should be actually not just a rule of thumb. What I'm about to say, I believe, should be a law.
Yeah.
Right? It should be criminal.
Okay.
Criminal.
Yeah.
To break this law.
I mean, I think I know where you're going, but I don't know.
And again, I don't look. Bang who you want to bang. At the end of the day, what do I care, right?
Right.
But I do care about this because I'm a people person, Tyrone. And no matter where I go, I don't care what neighborhood I'm in. I think what I'm about to tell you, I would get universal 100-0 support on what I think should be a federal law in this country.
Okay.
One that if you break it, you should go to prison.
5 years.
And do hard labor.
All right.
In my humble opinion.
Like making license plates like back in the day.
Like Rambo 2 on the rock pile.
On the rock pile.
On the rock pile. That's the kind of punishment I think you need if you break what I want to make a federal law. All right? Yeah. And here it is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you are cheating on your husband, all right? If you are cheating on your husband, and you get pregnant, you should never be allowed to name your child after the guy that you're having the affair with.
Yeah.
That should be a law.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
I don't even care whose kid it is.
Don't even matter.
It could be your husband's kid. It could be your affair person's kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You, as a law, you should not be allowed to name that child after the man that you are having the affair with. Diana Rossini named her firstborn son Michael.
That's foul.
And I'm sorry.
That's foul.
If Mr. Rossini, all right, was even contemplating for a second of going to couples counseling and trying to figure it out.
Rebuild.
And getting over the hump of his wife humping Mike Vrabel for the 6 years,
for
right?
6 years, yeah.
Then I think this is the final straw. Because now I want a paternity test, obviously.
Of course, he better.
But even if I am the father, you told me Michael was your favorite name.
Right. You said it was
We
because of
didn't
some
name
other
him
reason.
after a biblical character,
Right.
which a lot of people do.
Right.
Right? And Mike was one of the most popular names in this country for the better part of 100 years.
It's not Isaac.
You didn't name him after your father.
Right.
You didn't name him after your best friend who died in a tragic car accident when you were a child.
Right.
You named him after the guy you're banging on the side.
Yes. Now,
That should be a law.
That should absolutely be a law. And I have to say, I've actually been far more pro Diana Rossini throughout this than Mike Vrabel. Up until that tweet came out. We have the tweet you guys said where she's talking about how she has a 4-day-old baby and she's thinking about the best Michael that's played and coached in the NFL.
Yeah.
Her side piece played and coached in the NFL.
Right.
That's so foul.
4 days after her son is born, her son makes her think about the guy she's banging on the side.
Are you kidding me?
Cold-blooded.
I no longer can be more on the Rossini side.
Right.
I just got to throw them both into the trash heap on this one because it's not like I'm now pro Mike Vrabel. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, they both did.
But I find it to be disgusting and, yes, criminal.
That's what I
It's
think.
criminal.
Yeah.
And she's going to have to, whatever she does next, she's going to have to explain that.
And here's what's interesting. I thought throughout this entire escapade that she'd be rehired by the fall in time for football season.
That's what I thought.
I really believe that.
Yep.
After the stuff that came out yesterday came out, and more of these tweets are now coming out, I'm not quite sure it's going to happen as soon as this fall.
I agree.
I do think she will reappear at some point.
Maybe next year this time.
But I don't think, like I thought for sure Barstool would hire her in a second and she'd be great with them.
I agree.
I believe that. Because personality-wise, I think she's great.
Right, she's talented.
Yeah, as a human being, maybe not so great. But as a talent, I think she's fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah. I also now think, if I may, if I can speak for all Jet fans, she was the most critical and negative reporter when it came to things that were happening inside the Jet organization.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vrabel hates the Jets, and there's 2 guys on Mike Vrabel's coaching staff that worked for the Jets. So is there a possibility that those guys who are no longer with the Jets were giving Mike Vrabel all the inside tea on what was happening with the Jets? Vrabel gave it to Diana and said, go get him, sweetheart, because I hate the Jets?
Yep.
The answer is yes. That being said, cold-blooded.
They do nothing fancy, the Philadelphia Flyers. There's nothing like, oh my God, like they basically, Kevin, can like hand you their playbook before the game. Like seriously, they can say, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. These are our lines, and this is how we're gonna match up against you. Like, you know it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
The New York Knickerbockers are NBA champions. Da 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 da. Canyon of Heroes, parade, convertibles, hot chicks in Knick jerseys. The Knicks finally get over the hump and win an NBA title. And there's me, and there's Jalen Brunson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't get it, man. Maybe this is more of a Kalshi poly market conversation to jump in on the prediction markets. But to me, this is the spot that I would roll with the Rays, man. I think they're undervalued every year, and I think they're undervalued this year again. Look, the Yankees should be the favorite. They're the best team on paper. Baltimore, Toronto, and Boston? Donnie, are they that much better than Tampa Bay? What am I missing here?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Do you think technology and those earpieces, again, when it comes to the development of the quarterbacks, is hurt the game?
The development of the quarterback position is getting worse and worse and worse because you don't see live action, you don't get game time experience, and you're going to have to develop in a slower way. And to me, if you don't have the people around you, it's going to be a tough road to be able to play the game.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. So the Philadelphia Eagles get a wide receiver who's got an interesting personality and was kind of doing a weird Stevie Wonder thing.
I think he...
My Cherie Amour. I just want to let all the Philadelphia Eagle fans know that when I come to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, that I'm going to do my best to make you proud of me as I wear Eagle Green. If we could all hold hands and my Cherie Amour, I ate cheesesteaks, but not no more.
This has got to stop.
Philly, I'm a blue-collar worker, Philadelphia. I just want to let you know that I can't wait for Jalen Hurts to throw me the ball 17 times a game. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to stab him.
Yeah, he's not that type of guy. He had the sunglasses on because he was crying, and he didn't want people to see him
That's
crying.
not what it was at all, Tyrone.
That is what it was.
I have an orbital astigmatation.
No, he
doesn't.
It's what
I have.
He was crying because he was emotional that his dream came true.
Yeah.
And he's weird in interviews.
Yeah.
He has a clean record behind him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he can play.
I know my last name is Lemon, but I'm not related to Don. So, we're my Cherie Amour. You better throw me the damn ball some more. Yeah. That's the guy. You're rocking your Eagles gear today because you got Malik Lemon.
I like the player.
Yeah.
And I saw him play. That was the most important part.
Yeah.
They didn't pick a guard.
He's good.
He's really good.
He doesn't seem that big, though.
No. They're going to move him around, though. Totally different offense with the new offensive coordinator.
You got small wide receivers now, cuz.
Not all of them.
A.J. Brown ain't there no more.
Yeah, but Wicks is a bigger player.
Devontae Smith is like 5'8".
No, he's not. He's over
checked.
6 foot tall.
He is. He's
yes,
6
he
foot
is.
tall.
He's over 6
and
foot tall.
my chunk goes to my knee.
No, he's over 6 foot tall.
Oh, matter of fact, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I guess he's 6 feet
He's
tall.
over 6 feet tall.
Devontae Smith is 5'8" all day.
If we're going by that, he's 4'11". All right, not doing that. He's 4'11". But no, he's a good football player, and I just liked it how he always stays true to his board, and he doesn't do some of the mess that some of these other teams do.
Was that the guy you guys wanted, by the way, in that spot?
They didn't expect him to be at that spot.
Oh, he dropped. So
and that's why they traded up. Yeah, they were thinking offensive tackle, the one that went 21st. Okay. That's maybe where they were thinking. Once he got there, they had to have him because they had him much higher on their board.
Got it. I know some people say, and I don't think this is fair to the kids. Like, not every kid, number one, is comfortable in front of a camera.
Right, and he's not.
Not every kid is comfortable with a microphone.
Right.
It's just not like you're asking kids to do things. Some are very comfortable at it. Mm-hmm. You're just naturally.
Mendoza.
And other guys aren't.
Mendoza's been media trained already.
And
he's ready to go.
I always think it's interesting that one of the knocks on Lemon out of USC, who's a stud, obviously, and look, you got Jalen Hurts, you got a great offensive line, Saquon Barkley, and you have really good guys and veterans on that team. So even if he's a little rambunctious, I think Philly's got.
But he hasn't been in trouble, and he has a family unit. His mom and dad are in his life.
Which is great.
I think he was just a nervous kid who didn't want people to see him cry on TV.
Here's what I don't think is fair, right? You throw these kids in front of the camera at the combine, right? Because it's the interview of his that went viral.
Right.
And you then make a determination, which is unfair, about who the kid is as a human being.
Right.
Knowing nothing about the kid, outside of I've seen him play football. I don't know his background. I don't know if his mom and dad are together.
They are together, and they were there at the draft with him.
Which is awesome, right? But you put a kid in front of a camera at the combine, and the kid has a little bit of a little attitude. He's got a little spunk to him, right? He doesn't answer the questions the way maybe you want him to answer the questions. And then you decide, oh, he might be a problem, so I'm not going to draft him. Why? Because he had a tough interview at the combine, or he's got a little juice in him, right? He's got a little attitude, which I would think you'd want from a guy on a football field.
Most teams, the smart teams do.
But that's I'll be honest, I had no idea where he was expected to go, so I'm not claiming that I know anything about where he was slotted.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be 20. He was not supposed to make it to 20.
But if the reason that you chose not to draft him, and look, not like 10 wide receivers didn't go ahead of him.
No, only one.
All right, one did.
One did.
He was the second wide receiver taken, and I think only 3 got taken, maybe 4, in the entire first round.
Right.
Jets came in late to get Cooper. He's the last
and there
wide
was one
receiver
more.
taken.
There was one more, a few picks after him.
Right,
so 4.
Only 4 wide receivers got taken, and he was the second one overall, so that's good, obviously, right? There was not a premium on wide receivers last night. He was the third wide receiver taken, all good. But the point is that it was like 10 guys got taken, and he fell behind other wide receivers.
Right.
He came third in wide receivers. But I always think it's unfair that you're going to make a decision on whether or not a kid is good for your team, will be a good guy, because of one interview.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To me, that's... Look, and the other thing is, to be fair, I'm also not drafting nuclear physicists. Right? I'm not drafting someone that I hope one day wins a Nobel Peace Prize. And I don't want to diminish the fact that, he's a 19-year-old, 20-year kid, however old he is, who's just a football player. I'm sure he's a lot more than that. But oh no, he's got some attitude. Oh no, he was doing the Stevie Wonder. Oh no, he'll tell you how great he is in an interview. So what? I just want to know, A, can the kid play football? And B, has he ever been in any trouble off the field?
Right, and he hasn't. And what's funny is you talk about Puka Nacua right now, who's in rehab as we speak, who was set to get maybe 150, 160 million guaranteed.
He gets a JSN contract.
Yeah, to get the crazy contract, right? He's great in interviews.
Yeah.
Turns
but a knucklehead off the field.
He does get in trouble off the field.
Right.
And sometimes, and that's the part. And also you talk about how young these guys are. You talk about people that are 21 till at the oldest they'll be 25. That's on the draft, the first round. 21 to 25 at the oldest. And that's a rarity. How many people are fully polished, finished people at that age?
Almost none.
And as long as you're staying out of trouble, you have the ability to grow. Now, if you're in trouble,
by the way,
it's
give me a
different.
great football player who's never been in trouble.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
all you
care
want.
what your grades were. I don't care who you're sleeping with. Don't get in trouble.
Don't get in trouble.
Don't get in fights. Don't do drugs.
Right.
Don't get involved with gamblers.
Right. Don't beat women. We've seen that. We've seen all kinds.
Yeah. By the way, and you could be a dingbat. I don't care. Are you a great football player? Are you a leader? Are you a man? I'm good with it. But I brought it Philly up there because I was happy for you, as you being my dear friend, that you came in today. You're rocking some swag because you got your Eagles garbage on, and you're feeling like you're flexing a little bit, like we got a great wide receiver.
I just felt like they made a good pick.
No. By the way, I appreciate the fandom. Yeah. But I know that there's another part of you, Tyrone, and that part of you is struggling today.
And what's that?
And that part of you is struggling for two reasons. One, you know full well that tonight the Celtics are going to beat the Sixers by 30 in Philly.
Nope.
Game 3.
Nope.
So, and I can see that on your face. I feel for you as a loved one of mine. And then the other thing I know you're struggling with today is it is now official. Your baseball team has the worst record in the entire sport of baseball. They've now lost 8 consecutive games. The Mets have won 2 straight games. Thank you to Hawk Tua. You're welcome, Met fans. Now it's 9 consecutive games, and you have the worst record in all of Major League Baseball. And I got a lot of people texting me right now watching the show saying, what's wrong with Tyrone? I can see it on his face. He's really upset today. That's why.
I'll say this. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Double D's normally.
Yes.
Okay, I love them. Okay, everybody knows that.
Yes.
Dave Dombrowski got to get his ass out of town. All right? You keep bringing back the same roster year after year, the same players that can't play. Yeah. Alec Bohm still playing third base for me. Dave Dombrowski, you gots to go. So while I am happy about the Eagles pick, and I do feel good about my Sixers chances tonight, I am furious about my baseball team. And Dave Dombrowski, not Rob Thompson, because there's no P in his name because he's Canadian. He doesn't need the first one to go. Dave Dombrowski, Double D. The first time I've turned down Double D's, gots to go.
9 straight losses for your Phillies.
They lose an extra inning. They actually rallied back. They were down big. They get the extra inning, 7-7, and they still lose.
Yeah, they're like the Mets. Yeah, you'll get to 12, and then maybe you'll figure it out. Meanwhile, the Mets won back-to-back games for 2 reasons. One, I brought Hawk Tua back, and they're now 2-1 since I brought her back to spit on that thing. And she did for me, which you know what I'm saying.
On that thing.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, she on that thing. Yeah. She was also in Tennessee. I was in New York. So if she spit on my thing from there.
Can't get mad about that. How you going to get mad about that?
What's up, girls? And then there was a funny report that Joel Embiid might be coming back soon.
He's doubtful for the game tonight.
Craig Carton Show. You got Celtics, Sixers tonight. All Boston. Then you have Lakers at the Rockets tonight.
No. Now, this is what I don't like from you.
All Boston.
Your team loses twice in a row to a Hawks team you're better than, right?
Yes.
Meanwhile, the Sixers have been big underdogs. Most people picked a sweep.
Yes.
They're about to push this series after their win tonight to at least 6. The Sixers are. Maybe they win it at 5.
5 is locked in now, not 6.
No. After they win tonight, it'll be at least 6, or the Sixers will win it at 5.
Okay.
You're just upset because your team's choking. Don't put that on me. The Sixers have done nothing to you. Be mad about the Knicks and leave the anger where it belongs. Don't go trying to put it on other cities 90 miles south. You should be 2 blocks over mad at the Knicks. That's what you should be mad at, not everybody else. So the people out there, if you're wondering why Craig's being extra petty against Philly, it's not his normal thing. It's because he's wounded by his Knicks. I saw the video. I was watching it live. You were crushed last night.
I was very upset.
You were extremely upset.
Came all the way back, took a 3-point lead, thought we were going to steal the dub, reclaim home court advantage, go into game 4 with a 2-1 lead, which is what I was expecting pre-play. And now where am I at?
Right.
Now I'm in a do-or-die game 4. I got Mikal Bridges, who has gone 6 consecutive quarters without a bucket.
That's true.
Not even a free throw, by the way.
Nothing.
0 points. And I got to convince myself that at 6 o'clock on Saturday, which is a really kind of bad time for me personally, because my father-in-law turns 80 on Saturday.
Yeah, I forgot you got a big party.
And I'm going to be in Philly to go to a birthday party for my 80-year-old father-in-law. And while the dinner's not until 7:30, that means I can't show up late.
That's a terrible timing.
You know, that's my guy.
Right.
So that means I'm going to be the guy at the dinner table. And thank God there's 29 other people coming.
Yeah.
So I won't be the focus of the attention. Oh, tell me what it's like working with Tyrone. It's okay.
3 people might ask, 3 or 4 people. Some people, they know me down there. They know me down there.
It's okay. It's not great. It's okay.
It's not bad. I'm low maintenance. You can at least say that. He's low maintenance.
Yeah, it's okay. And I'm going to have to watch the game on my phone.
Yeah, now, so that's what it is, all right? The Sixers are fine, all right? They're going to handle their business tonight, and then we'll continue with all the other NBA action, and it'll be fantastic tonight. But the Sixers are fine. The Knicks aren't.
The Knicks are. So then you have Rockets, Lakers. Right now, I just checked a few minutes ago. Kevin Durant, again, is questionable for tonight's game, but based on the point spread,
he's playing.
Kevin Durant's playing.
Must win.
And by the way, he's got to play.
Must win.
You know, and he did play game 2. Was not. I think he had 23 points. But
on defense, he was a
if you're the Rockets, man, like you're gonna let 41-year-old LeBron James
with nobody,
with no help,
sweep
your asses.
You can't. You can't.
Because, and I asked the Rockets, can you do it for me? Because if LeBron, I don't care if they get swept by the Thunder next round.
If they,
don't mean nothing to me.
The point's the same.
Because that's what the expectation would be, unless Luke comes back or Reeves might come back. I know they're saying Reeves is closer now than
that's what they're claiming.
Maybe they thought, but who the heck knows?
That's what they're claiming. Yeah.
But if LeBron James, I don't care if Durant plays or not. By the way, if LeBron James is the causal reason, and he would be, that the Lakers take out the Houston Rockets, I got to change my narrative a little bit.
A little bit.
I gotta walk back some of the aggressive criticism of the self-appointed greatest player of all time, which he's not, but that's why I said self-appointed. I may have to apologize for suggesting that we'll have a dethroning of the king when he gives that crown to SGA in the next round. Because here's the reality. If the Lakers beat the Rockets and advance and become, a human sacrifice to the Lions back in the Roman days, which is what I think the Lakers would be to the Thunder.
I agree.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to be a bad look for LeBron James. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, can you believe that 41-year-old LeBron James, with no discernible help, somehow, some way, beat one of the better up-and-coming teams in the Western Conference? And I'm going to have to sit here and say, nice job, LeBron. Well done. You still ain't my GOAT, but I got to tip the cap to you, sir. That was awesome.
I have a question for you, Craig.
Yeah.
And you answered this a little while back. let's create a scenario, which I'm not rooting against you the way you root against me.
Yes, I do root against you.
If the Knicks were to lose in the first round to the Hawks.
Oh, my God.
If they were.
Yeah.
And let's say they were going to do the Giannis trade.
Yeah.
And LeBron's a free agent, and Giannis says, Brunson's kind of ball dominant. I would like a guy who gets everybody involved to come over with me.
Yeah.
One of the terms for me to accept this trade, because I'm a superstar,
LeBron?
is you got to bring LeBron to the Knicks.
Yeah.
And you just saw what LeBron's doing. What would you say, Craig Carton? And don't listen to Ethan, who's hating on it.
It's all good.
All right?
Wait, but your question, though.
You lose in the first round. So this is a rock-bottom situation.
Knicks lose to the Hawks, whoever, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is.
However it is, first round.
Right. Jalen Brunson's coming back.
Brunson's coming back.
I can get Giannis, but Giannis says, I'd really like you to bring LeBron in for 1 year.
Hart and other guys would have to be involved in the trade
that's
mathematically.
That's all good. I got it.
But he says, and LeBron's willing to come across the country for the minimum. Won't cost you a dime.
Yeah.
I just want to be in the city. I'm going to play with Giannis. Giannis is the main guy. I'm going to fill in with what you need. A night like last night doesn't happen if you have LeBron. Because LeBron fills in what you need late.
LeBron's one
organized.
of the worst buzzer beater shooters in the history
he's not
of the NBA.
shooting the ball. He's getting guys organized to get a good shot,
Yeah.
which the Knicks didn't get a shot at all.
They did
that
not.
doesn't happen with LeBron.
12 seconds left. We did not get a shot
Don't
off last
miss
night.
the main point.
Which is a fireable offense, by the way.
Exactly.
All right?
Do you now say yes to LeBron?
I have an answer. It's a great question, by the way, and I want to look right into the camera and say this. As desperate as I am for an NBA championship, and as upset as I will be if the New York Knicks do get eliminated by the Atlanta Hawks.
That's right.
And as how happy as I will be that gets me Giannis, so I go into next year, one of the favorites in the East, under no circumstance will I ever say yes to the New York Knicks bringing in LeBron James. I don't care if LeBron is willing to take the veteran minimum. LeBron James will never wear the Knick colors on my watch. He had a chance to do it almost a decade ago, and we wanted him. And he laughed in our faces and went to Miami. LeBron James will never play for the New York Knicks if I'm king of the world. And I don't want him here, even if I'm not king of the world. You will never play for the New York Knicks. And if that costs me Giannis, I can go to bed at night knowing that I'm not willing to make a deal with the devil. LeBron James, muerto. Is that an answer?
And that's why the Knicks haven't won for 50 years. That attitude right there.
We tried to get him a decade ago. He turned his back on us. Now we turn our back on you.
They do nothing fancy, the Philadelphia Flyers. There's nothing like, oh my God, like they basically, Kevin, can like hand you their playbook before the game. Like seriously. They can say, yeah, this is what we're going to do. These are our lines, and this is how we're going to match up against you. Like, you know it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
The New York Knickerbockers are NBA champions. Da 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 da. Canyon of Heroes. Parade, convertibles, hot chicks in Knick jerseys. The Knicks finally get over the hump and win an NBA title. And there's me, and there's Jalen Brunson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't get it, man. Maybe this is more of a Kalshi poly market conversation to jump in on the prediction markets, but to me, this is the spot that I would roll with the Rays, man. I think they're undervalued every year, and I think they're undervalued this year again. Look, the Yankees should be the favorite. They're the best team on paper. Baltimore, Toronto, and Boston? Donnie, are they that much better than Tampa Bay? What am I missing here?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Do you think technology and those earpieces, again, when it comes to the development of the quarterbacks, is hurt the game?
The development of the quarterback position is getting worse and worse and worse because you don't see live action, you don't get game time experience, and you're going to have to develop in a slower way. And to me, if you don't have the people around you, it's going to be a tough road to be able to play the game.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Man, I found another sport you ladies can go pro in, and I'm a big Title IX guy. Yeah, I'm on Twitter right now.
Title IX is supposed to be, well, what you spit on the men, you also spit on the women.
It involves men. It involves men.
Okay.
Albania has a massage championship.
They do.
Yeah, so the guys get to lay there, in their underwear, and good-looking Albanian gals give you a full-body massage. And it's a real thing. It's not even AI. It's the Albanian Massage Championship. So, again, for you ladies out there that feel like when you leave college, there's no avenue for you to go pro, there is. Yeah, not everybody can play basketball, Tyrone. Yeah. Not everybody's good at softball. Not everyone's good at soccer. Some women are great with their hands.
So you want
they need an avenue.
You want athletic women doing
I don't think we should be standing in the way of progress in this country and not give women who are good with their hands an opportunity to go pro.
But
matter of fact, I'd make it an Olympic event.
Now,
the Albanian Massage Championship. I said it to you guys. Check it out.
I'm looking at it. Why is the guy not?
By the way, it's not sexual.
But why is the guy not wearing a towel?
Huh?
And she's using her arms kind of flailing.
Because the judges need to see how you're manipulating the guy's muscles. That's why he doesn't have a towel or like a blanket or sheet on him.
You gotta have something on.
Because there's judges there saying, "Oh, that was good use. Way to use the palm on the pec. Good palm pecking. Well, oh, look, nice thumb on the tendons of the hammy." Yeah. I'm also in love, to be honest.
You like her?
I'm going to Albania.
See, that girl does look like your type.
Yeah, Albania. It borders on the Adriatic. Its land is mostly mountainous, and its chief export is chrome. Oh. Albania. Yeah, that's in Albania.
Eliza Dushku.
Yeah.
Remember her?
She's Albanian?
She's Albanian.
They also, by the way.
I liked her back in the day.
Fun fact about Albanians.
Yeah.
They own 90% of the Italian restaurants in this country.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I should like or dislike that.
They also,
I like to think that my spaghetti is authentic. I don't want that Albanian spaghetti. I want Italian
You're
spaghetti.
wrong on that. Albanians are as good at Italians as cooking Italian food. Albanians dominate the Italian restaurant marketplace. They do. They do. I was once on a boat.
Who has more chest hair?
I once went to Corfu, right? And I get on a boat, and we just start going. Yeah. And all of a sudden, a landmass starts to appear. And the guy driving the boat, Greek guy driving the boat, I go, what's that? He goes, that's Albania.
Yeah.
I go, well, let's go to Albania. All right, so we start going towards Albania, and we get, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a mile off the coast of Albania, and he starts making a U-turn. And I go, why are we making a U-turn? I want to see Albania close up. I may never get a chance again in my life to see Albania. He goes, because if I go any closer, they'll shoot us out of the water.
What?
Because they think we're a drug vessel.
Oh, well, they got to be careful then.
Yeah. Now, so I only got within a mile of Albania, and then we U-turned the hell out of here.
But it looked beautiful?
Back to Corfu. No, it looks like it looks like, you ever see, how do I can describe this? It looks like, you ever see pictures of the slums in India?
Yes.
That's what Albania looks like.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So
it's not like a very pretty, well-built or, metropolitan country.
I'm almost ready to make a ruling.
Yeah.
One European thing is the unzip or unbutton the shirt, have a gold chain on with the heavy chest hair.
That's an Italian thing, a Jewish thing, yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Albania does that as well.
Yeah.
Who does it best? Italians
the Italians
or Albanians?
Italians own that. Yeah.
I like my restaurants with a guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you something else about Albanians.
Yeah.
At least in my personal experience, lousy bank robbers.
What?
Yeah. Lousy bank
What
robbers.
do you mean in your experience?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Come on. What is that?
I was away with the guy that was an Albanian bank robber.
Okay.
Yeah. So the fact that he was sitting next to me.
Oh, you knew he was bad.
He wasn't very good at robbing banks.
Okay. Was he a nice guy otherwise?
He was good to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting.
He was a figurehead.
You know what? You've lived a life, man. You've lived.
Yeah, that dude could tell some stories. And I once said to him, because I felt like we were getting close.
Yeah.
I'm like, did anybody, and I shouldn't have did it. I go, did anybody ever tell you weren't good at robbing banks?
Oh, no. Well, did he get upset with you?
No.
Because he could have shivved you.
Oh, no. Worse. Yeah. No, but he did make me. I had to make him a promise before I left. I left graduate school. And the promise was, Craig, remember on visiting day a couple months ago, I introduced you to my cousin, and he did.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, very nice man. He goes, well, he has an Italian restaurant in Staten Island. You're gonna go to it.
Did you go?
You're damn right I went.
Was it good?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
But it's on Staten Island. You don't get up there that often.
I don't get to that often.
Yeah.
But I did go.
All right.
Because I'm not stupid.
That's right.
Let me real quick before we skedaddle for the weekend with 40 seconds left. Dan Rossini's okay. Yeah.
Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft tonight.
Sorry.
4 through 7 Saturday.
Yeah. My bad. So I got carried away there. I'm just reading my notes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You weren't wrong.
How do you spell whore? Okay, yeah, there's. All right. I'll leave you with a non-sports story from the world of autographs. I know you like to collect autographs.
Yes.
Helen Keller.
Oh.
Apparently, and I seen the picture of it. There it is. That's Helen Keller's only autograph ever on paper.
She didn't write that.
It went for $3,000. I'm trying to figure out how she wrote that so cleanly. Have yourselves a great weekend. Go Knicks.